Death Note aired in 2006, almost 2 decades ago. No overpowered transformations, no massive battles. Just a notebook. And a terrifying question. What happens when an ordinary person is given the power to kill anonymously? That's it. That's the hook that built one of the most rewatched and recommended anime of all time. Today, fans are still binging Death Note. Not because of nostalgia, but because it never stopped being relevant. Its ideas, characters, and moral questions feel just as powerful now as they did on day one. This is Anime Origins, where we explore the real psychology, symbolism, and storytelling behind the anime that changed everything. And today we're diving into why Death Note will always be one of the most iconic anime ever made. Here's how Death Note begins. A high school genius finds a notebook. If you write someone's name in it while picturing their face, they die. No rituals, no spells, just a pen and your judgment. This is what writers call a perfect premise. It's simple, it's chilling, and it immediately forces a moral dilemma. Because this story isn't about whether the power works, it's about what happens when it does. It turns the viewer into a participant. You don't just watch light, you question yourself. Would I do the same thing? Would I kill criminals if it meant saving society? And once I start, would I stop? Light Yagami is one of the most fascinating protagonists in anime history. He's handsome, brilliant, respectful, a model student. But within minutes of receiving the Death Note, he begins experimenting with it. And quickly he decides to become something more, the god of a new world. At first he only kills known criminals. He believes he's doing what the justice system won't. But soon the lines blur. He starts killing people who investigate him, then innocent people who happen to get in his way. And the more he uses the notebook, the more we watch his humanity disappear. Light's descent into delusion is slow, logical, and horrifying, because it feels so real. He doesn't become a monster because of magic. He becomes a monster because he believes he's saving the world. That's what makes Death Note brilliant. It doesn't ask if Light is evil, it asks, what if you had that power? Opposite Light stands L, the detective with no last name, no shoes, and no patience for normality. L is weird, brilliant, unapologetically awkward. But underneath all of that is one simple belief. No one should be above the law. L doesn't know how the murders are happening, but he sees the pattern. And instead of trying to stop a killer, he's trying to catch a god. What makes their battle so fascinating is that it's not physical. It's pure psychological warfare. Light hides his identity. L closes in one deduction at a time. They shake hands, lie to each other, and live in the same house, all while trying to destroy one another. It's like chess, but every move kills someone, and the tension never lets go. Here's the secret to Death Note's success. It's not about the Death Note. It's about what the Death Note reveals about people. That's why the series is still used in university ethics courses, philosophy classes, and psychology lectures. It forces you to confront questions like, is killing evil? If it creates peace? Can justice be absolute? And does power always corrupt, even with good intentions? These aren't just abstract ideas, they play out in every scene. Because Light isn't insane, he's calculated, reasonable, rational, until suddenly, he's not. Another reason Death Note holds up so well? It's only 37 episodes. There's no filler, no tournament arcs, no power creep. Every single episode pushes the plot forward, with twists, reversals, and dramatic tension that never dips. Writers and editors still study it today for how tightly the story is told. The global reach of Death Note is massive. Since 2006, it has been a top-rated anime in dozens of countries. Adapted into multiple Japanese live-action films, remade into a Netflix series, though poorly received, turned into a stage play, quoted in countless memes, essays, and fan theories. Even people who don't watch anime have heard of Death Note. It's part of pop culture now. Like Breaking Bad, Sherlock Holmes, or Black Mirror, it's a story about intelligence, manipulation, and moral danger. So why do we keep watching it? Because the show never gives a final answer. Even after it ends, you're still thinking, was Light right or wrong? Would I do what he did? Would I be like L or like Light? The power of Death Note isn't just the Death Note, it's the mirror it holds up to the viewer. That's why Death Note still feels fresh, whether you're watching it for the first time or the 10th. Thanks for watching. This is Anime Origins, where every story has a deeper story. Subscribe, like, and ring the notification bell for more short anime documentaries that explore the real meaning, psychology, and cultural history behind anime that changed the world. And in the next episode, we're setting sail. Because we're talking about the longest-running, most ambitious anime of all time. A series that's still going strong after more than 25 years. One Piece. See you soon.